You stole my article.
I wouldn't do that.
I wrote up the case where we induced hypothermic cardiac arrest in the terminal cancer girl.
I wrote my own. I didn't steal yours.
You knew I was writing one. You gave me notes.
Got a case. It can wait. You two finish. $5 if someone loses an eye. Fine. You're only putting off the inevitable. 25-year-old female hasn't slept for 10 days.
I assume the ER tried giving her some sedatives. We should up the dosage.
Sedation isn't the same as sleep.
Thanks for your insight. For someone who hasn't slept in 10 days, sedation is a great start.
Sleep is an active process. Reboots the system, restores the brain. Sedatives don't...
The brain is being stressed. We need to relieve that. You've had my article on your desk for the last 4 months.
I'm a very slow reader. No fever, no white count means no infection.
Schizophrenia?
No delusions.
You read his.
Signed it, didn't read it. Aside from the sleeping pills, talk screen was clean. No cocaine, methamphetamines, or diet pills.
Only medications she's had recently are steroids for poison ivy and ibuprofen for a knee she hurt skiing.
Nothing that would cause sleep disturbances. When did you get his article?
Like 3 weeks ago. Let's go back to the beginning.
How far back?
Genesis. God said, let there be light.
Sleep is initially controlled by external light cues.
And if her brain can't interpret those cues?
Optic nerve disease.
I'm sensing another article.
I'll go run the tests. You still feeling a lot of blood in your throat?
No, it's actually getting a little better.
Good. Maybe things are just starting to improve on their own. Just a few more. Want some water to wash out your mouth?
No, I'm okay.
Come on, that can't taste good. I'm gonna get you a soda. It's okay, isn't it?
You and Max seem to have a really nice relationship.
Yeah.
She's very supportive.
Uh-huh.
When Max got you the dog, did you lie about having an allergic reaction?
No. Why?
If you have pre-existing conditions, it's important we know, but if you don't, it's just as important. If I'm wasting my time
You're
doing
not
this
gonna
out,
tell her, are you?
it's none of my business.
She's a good person. We've just been together so long. I'm tired of her. It sounds terrible, doesn't it?
Guess it happens sometimes.
My back hurts.
Anna, can you turn over?
What's wrong?
I'm not sure.
Oh my God.
She has massive internal bleeding.
Did she have access to aspirin?
She'd have to take a hell of a lot.
Why not, considering her current mental state?
What about her mental state?
You were right about her wanting to break up.
It just means I was right. Doesn't mean she's suicidal.
A bottle of pills is what landed her here in the first place.
Sleeping pills. God knows why she'd want them. What else could cause sleep disorder and internal bleeding?
Drugs or alcohol could mess with the sleeping and compromise the liver.
What are you doing here? Who's keeping her awake?
Doesn't matter. Liver function tests are through the sky. Liver's not compromised, it's dead. She doesn't need a diagnosis, she needs a new liver.
She's not getting a new liver unless we can figure out what's wrong with her.
Test for cirrhosis, 12 hours. Test for hepatitis, 8. Her liver's not gonna last another 6.
So your advice is we just give up?
My advice is that we narrow our focus to conditions that we can diagnose, treat, and cure in less than 6 hours. And there's nothing on that list.
The girlfriend donated blood, right?
Yeah, so?
Means they're the same type.
You can't ask the person she's about to dump to donate half her liver.
Does seem tacky, doesn't it?
Maybe we should give these two a minute together before the surgery. You ready, honey?
Max,
It's okay. I'm right here.
I need you to know something.
I know. I love you too.
I don't know how to say this.
Good Lord!
You can tell me anything.
She hasn't slept in 11 days. People trying to torture her? Ding ding, let's go. I told you.
I didn't say a word to Max.
This is exactly why you got screwed with Foreman. You're looking for people to do the right thing.
She hasn't slept. Her judgment's compromised due to inactivity in her prefrontal cortex.
Oh, she could have the best prefrontal cortex in the history of mankind, but given the choice of life versus death, those bad, bad people are gonna choose life.
Then why'd you sedate her? If she wasn't gonna tell, if she was never gonna do the right thing, why bother knocking her out? This isn't about them. If she talks, if she does the decent thing, then you don't get to solve your puzzle. Your game's over, you lose.
Yeah, I want to save her. I'm morally bankrupt.
Fever's 106. She's in full rejection mode.
Is that supposed to surprise me?
Her white count is normal.
Normal is not normal. She's been on steroids. The transplant team gave her a cocktail of immunosuppressants. She hasn't slept in over a week. Her white count should be in the tank.
Looks like the problem is some sort of infection. Probably caused a hypotension, shocked the liver.
We should start broad-spectrum antibiotics.
Yeah, you might want to add some chicken soup. It'd be just as useless, but it's got chicken. We need to know exactly what kind of infection we're dealing with. What infection causes sleep disturbance, bleeding, movement disorder, organ failure, and an abnormally normal white count.
What about tularemia?
Chest was clear. Tularemia doesn't cause movement disorders.
It would if she developed meningitis.
There was no ulcerations on the skin. With the bleeding, it looks more like leptospirosis.
Without conjunctivitis and elevated creatinine?
What about typhoid or some kind of relapsing fever?
Makes sense if we were in the Sudan.
You sure she hasn't been out of the country?
She hasn't even been out of the state in at least a year, neither has Max.
Maybe she lied. You talk to her friends, neighbors?
You don't know? Come on, if you don't stay up to date on my notes, where's your next article gonna come from?
Talk to the dog?
We're not as up on foreign languages as you are.
Has the dog been traveling?
I came from a breeder.
Where?
I don't know. A place called Blue Barrel Kennels. They only had the thing for like 2 days.
Blue Barrel is a kind of cactus. You see many cacti in Jersey? Want to see a magic trick? Oh no! Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Is it here? No. About here. There it is. Oh, that doesn't look anything like a nose.
That wasn't there this morning.
Get that to the lab and call a CDC.
Tell them what?
That we have a patient with the plague.
The Black Plague?
Looks that way.
Plague's carried by rodents, not dogs.
Where there's dogs, there's fleas. If they hail from the southwest, and those fleas can't tell the difference between prairie dogs and puppy dogs. A small percentage of plague cases present with sleep disturbance. Imagine an idyllic river of bacteria. It's not idyllic for her, but it serves my purposes. The steroids and the immunosuppressants acted like a big honking dam across the river. Physics 101, put a dam up in front of a raging river, the river rises. By stopping the immunosuppressants, we blew up the dam, and a 100-foot wall of bacteria flooded her lymph nodes.
We better find out where that dog is now.
After you restart the immunosuppressants, and fill her up to the eyeballs with streptomycin, sulfate, gentamicin, and tetracycline. Use a garden hose if we got one. Get yourself some prophylactic treatments as well.
I've got the plague.
Don't worry, it's treatable. Being a bitch, though. Nothing we can do about that.
What you did was crazy, but it was pretty amazing, too.
Yeah, I'm a hero. She's been planning to leave me.
Really?
She told a friend. The friend let it slip.
You knew, and you gave up half your liver anyway?
She can't leave me now.
You really want her to stay out of guilt? That's not gonna make either of you happy.
You don't know that. I love her. I just want her to stay.